It seems like everyone is taking ice baths these days, or cold water immersion therapy. You might have heard that term as well. But people are getting in super cold baths of ice water, sometimes down to 60 degrees, even maybe a little bit less, and sitting in it, being immersed in it for, I don't know, a few minutes, a little bit more. And they're doing this for a number of reasons. Now, we're going to talk about this today. I'm going to tell you, does it work? What does it work for? What are the risks versus the benefits of using ice baths? Guys, I'm Dr. Jen. It's good to see you. Let's just jump right in, okay? There are different ways to do ice baths. You can even buy ice bath sort of contraptions online. Like if you Google it, you can see like these sort of machines and, contraptions that will allow you to do an ice bath. Some people just get in their bathtub. Some people take cold showers. But in general, what I've read is that ice baths are usually about 60 degrees, as I mentioned, and people are in them for a few minutes. I'm not giving a specific time because I think how long you should be in it really depends on you. Now, let me tell you some benefits of this. First of all, we know that oftentimes people who do like high intensity workouts or, high performance, high endurance athletes may, after strenuous workouts, use ice baths, cold water immersion therapy to sort of ease sore muscles, to help lower inflammation, to decrease swelling and things like that. As a doctor, I can see that. I can get behind that because when you get into cold sort of water, cold environments, your blood vessels sort of vasoconstrict. It can help reduce edema or swelling, etc., decrease inflammation. So I can totally see that. We know that a lot of athletes are using it that way. But the thing is, it's not just athletes who are using ice baths, right? So you're probably saying, well, what are the other benefits for someone like me or you who may not be a high intensity or high endurance athlete? Well, many people who do ice baths say that it helps them with a number of things, from feeling calm or relaxed, at peace inside, to sometimes feeling almost a little bit of the opposite, more energized. Some people say it helps with their sleep, and some people it says that it really has helped with their anxiety, depression, or their mental health. Some people really feel like ice baths actually have helped them with their immune system and other aspects of their body. The thing about it is when it comes to these things, anxiety, depression, immune system, immune boosting, all that kind of stuff, I'll be honest with you, the evidence and the data is just not there to formally support these things, okay? And when I say formally support them, what I mean is I can't say that an ice bath is going to improve your immune system. I can't say that an ice bath is going to get rid of your anxiety, depression, make you feel calm, make you feel energized, etc. What I will say, though, because we just don't know that we don't know that it does this because the data is not there. What I will say, though, is that I do believe that sometimes how we feel matters, right? And if you get into a cold environment, cold water, and you feel better, well, that might be enough for some people. And this is something that it's not like you're taking a pill or a supplement or a thing in your body that could interact with other things. I think that, it could be an option for some people. Now, I'm going to talk about the risk because this is not an option for everyone. But suffice it to say that if you feel more energized after an ice bath, if you feel better, if you feel calmer, if you feel more at peace, if you feel like you're healthier, well, you know what? I'm not here to argue with you because you simply might feel that way, and that matters. Let's talk about who ice baths are not for. And they are not for everyone. Let's start at the top and go to the bottom. First of all, when we talk about ice baths, cold water immersion therapy, we are talking about water. There is a risk of drowning. Okay. And young children should not be doing this at all. I would argue that you need to be very cautious about children doing this at all, even adolescents. Okay. I'm not here to make a formal statement about that, but I need to let you know, certainly young children, that is a no-no. But I would actually argue that probably not for children or even adolescents, just to be on the safe side. Drowning can be a concern. And by the way, I should say, if not under a doctor's supervision. Let me just put it that way, okay? Because I can't speak for your child or adolescents. If it's under a doctor's supervision, that may be different. But I'm speaking to a lot of you, and it's always important for me to be safe and cautious when I'm talking to you. Anyway, so drowning can be a risk, and that's also a potential risk for adults too, guys, right? Because if you don't know how to swim, drowning can actually happen. The other thing, and you may say, well, how could somebody drown in an ice bath? Well, this is the thing. There is something called cold shock that can happen to the body, where you get into a very cold environment like an ice bath, and you literally experience like sort of a feeling similar to what may be shock. You may become essentially sort of shocked and not be able to function, not be able to breathe properly. You might breathe faster, etc. It's your body's way of responding to the ice cold bath. What I'm saying is that you don't necessarily know how your body is going to react to that cold shock. And for some people who may not know how to swim or may have problems in the water, drowning could potentially be a risk, okay? We just have to consider these things and keep them in mind whenever we talk about a water source, and this one being an ice cold bath. The other thing I would say is that you don't want to do this alone, okay? I would say doing it alone because of the cold shock potential and other things. Doing it with someone is probably a safer way to go, because then you have somebody that's looking after you and you them. Now, the other things, let me get to some of the nitty gritties, okay? First of all, you don't want to use an ice bath or cold water immersion therapy to mask an injury. If you're concerned that you have an injury, I wouldn't get into an ice bath. What I would do is I would seek out medical care to make sure of what actually is going on. You don't want a fracture or a sprain or anything like that. Actually, you don't want to start treating it before you know what you got, okay? So if you're concerned about an injury, rather than doing an ice bath, you really should be seeking out a medical opinion. Now, the other two things, I think that these are probably some of the most important. Number one, if you have an underlying history of heart conditions, heart disease, arrhythmias, or other heart problems, you need to check with your doctor before you do this, because getting into cold water, this cold, could really sort of affect your heart, could affect your cardiovascular system. And depending on your underlying condition, your doctor may say, hey, I'd rather you not do that. I think you need to hold off, okay? The other thing I would say is if you have certain neurological conditions or neuropathy where maybe you're not able to sense or feel very well, remember, cold water can affect the tissues, which kind of leads me into the next part, which is that if the water is too cold and you're in it for too long, it could actually cause tissue damage, okay? So that is a potential risk. And then on top of it, as I was mentioning before, someone with nerve damage, it may not take them to have as cold a water or to be in the water as long to experience damage, especially if they can't feel or can't sense. Again, these are sort of a lot of not necessarily hypotheticals, but these are points to consider and points to think about. Cold water immersion therapy is not right for everyone. Don't just assume that it is right for you. So if you have any of these conditions or things that I mentioned or others, talk to your doctor before you go and do this. The bottom line here is, could there be potential benefits to this? Absolutely. Do many athletes use cold water therapy, ice baths, to help with inflammation, swelling, etc.? Sure. Are there potential risks? Absolutely as well. I always say just check everything by your doctor before you try it. Not everything, but something like this, I would say run by your doctor. Also, get your doctor's opinion to see what they think about whether it works for certain conditions or not. I want you to let me know what you do in the comments. Let me know if you tried this. Let me know how it's worked for you, how you feel about it. Share this video with other people you think might be able to benefit from the content. Also, make sure that if you're on Facebook, please like and follow my page. On YouTube, please subscribe to my channel. Click the little bell for updates. Also, I have subscription groups on YouTube and on Facebook and on Instagram. If you guys join those, we do private lives where you get sort of behind the scenes content, off the record chats and things like that. Go to my website as well, drjencaudle.com, where I have a free health newsletter you can sign up for. I've got daily health tips you can subscribe for. Gosh, I'm stepping over myself because there's a lot, but it's because I love you guys and I love giving you content. Hopefully that is helping you live a healthier life. Also, give me suggestions. I'd love to hear what you want to hear about. This is just my 2 cents on ice baths. I'm sure there are more pros and cons that I didn't mention, but these are a few to get you started, guys. I hope this is helpful. I'm Dr. Jen. Love y'all. Bye.